Leave your comments. I will answer them at the end of the week. So in the meantime, I am your host because I'm between things here, and my cell phone is on this end because it's closer to the plug. So, and on beat now. Here we go. Aha. The G to the R to the I to the T to the Z. Zesty all the way on top of the mountain on the freeway. A freak on the peak that's about to speak. And if you open up your mind, I'll give you something to think about for the rest of the damn week. So, now, okay, let's think about something here, people. Let's get some things going here, right? First of all, I got a question. What part of capitalistic, what part of constitutional dictator do you not understand? Do you not understand that? We have a constitutional dictator who has got the longest presidential campaign running for the last 2 years. Now, quite obviously, we all think that this man is doing something world of good for everybody, right? Doing a world of good here. Oh, he's tough. He's hard, which is the reason why we got today's spit. Okay, and today's spit, ladies and gentlemen, is graveled gummy bears. I got my the cool-headed crew back here. If y'all can see them. If not, then I apologize because of that. We are KTNG 860am.org. Unified Community Broadcasting, talking soul radio for all of Colorado Springs and the world. So now, let's get on to our news segments here because these things explain a lot as to the reason why we have such garbage in this country that just never gets taken out, but just festers and builds and builds and builds. Bingo bango. Let's start with the Daily Beast because I think this is more active than anything else. Behind the base we call a bunch of MAGA idiots. All right? So, what do we have? Whoa! Almost slipped over there. Okay? Got to watch out now. My shit's all over the place here. Okay. Here we are. Let's see. So, what year is it? Oh my goodness. Daily Beast, Alabama newspaper editorial calls on the KKK to hang Democrats. Now, let me get this straight. Pretty much, I would say, like, right around the midterms of like the last year, state of Colorado basically got rid of the lynching laws as well as all kinds of negative connotations when they're in their constitutions, making everybody here feel freedom for the first time in 400 some odd years. All right, but when you still got, crack-a-lack-a-jacka going on, this is what happens. So Alabama newspaper editorial calls on the KKK to hang the Democrats. I mean, come on, this is like the best 15 minutes of fame you can actually get for desperate white people who have nothing better else to do. An Alabama newspaper called for, quote-unquote, the KKK, Ku Klux Klan, to night ride again and hang Democrats with hemp ropes. Wow. So I guess there is a government conspiracy to hoard all of your weed. Lovely. Okay. And in a shocking editorial, the Democrat reporter in Linden states that the KKK would be welcomed to raid the gated communities in Washington, D.C., referring to residences of Democrats and Democrats in the Republican Party. An editorial written by a publisher, Goodlow Sutton, expressed anger at both parties for plotting to raise taxes in Alabama. No, no, no. I like it that some of you idiots are finally waking up to the fact that this tax cut crap did not work for me. Oh my God! Stop the pity party, will you? Jeez. So he expressed his anger at both parties for plotting to raise taxes in Alabama. When contacted by the Montgomery advertisers, Goodlow doubled down on his call for action, saying, if we could get the Klan to go up there and clean out D.C., we'd be better off. Well, the Klan did show up at one particular point in huge numbers. Huge inflated numbers on like, what was it, 40 some odd people? And there were like at least about 1,000 other protesters against them. They didn't even make it down the freaking block. All right, so much for your unity, unifying the force of avenging the almighty old white man race. Ho, ho, ho. Okay? Now, we'll get the ropes out, loop them over the tall limb, and hang them all. He denied calling for the lynching of the Americans, saying, "These are socialist communists we're talking about. Lawmakers from the state have urged Sutton to resign." God. I mean, good grief. What's worse than a Chris Brown quote? Jeez. I mean, come on. Alabama. Come on. All right? As I said so many times, if you go anywhere south of, say, like the New Jersey pipeline, you go there, anything south of Jersey is the South, regardless. Come on, look at Virginia, the cradle of the Confederacy itself. Then you have North Carolina, then you have Kentucky, and then you have Alabama, then you have Georgia, then you have Florida that's trying to be hip, but it's like it got an influx of like immigrants, Cuban immigrants at that matter. So, onward, you fabled and unrecognizable Christian soldiers. Y'all fake garbage. Easy P. Anyway, we go around the country here and we find that in many cases, Cheeseburger, our illustrious leader, has, I don't know, caused a great deal of silence. He's caused a great deal of silence around the world whenever his name is mentioned. Which means 9 times out of 10, nobody likes his dumb ass. Okay? But we're not going to do Cheeseburger right at this moment because we're going to stick on what our Alabama double downers, motherfuckers who speak loudly and don't back up their shit. Okay? Yes, I'm talking about you Southern crackers, all right? And then when you're confronted with the facts, you all back down like a bunch of freaking rocks. All right? You're not amazing me, man. Actually, a big thing. GOP grabs socialism as 2020 lifeline. Ooh. What if first time since midterms, Republicans find themselves playing offense as they push socialism versus freedom as an opening 2020 message. I love how people are trying to make a stasis for racism. They bury it underneath all the other things in their attempts to conquer democracy. All right? And run it back to whatever century they think that should be existing right about now. Come on. 1835 is long gone. 1619. 1619. 400 years, people. 400 freaking years. All right? Now, the Green New Deal, introduced by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, huge crush. Anyway, has become a powerful symbol of the issue that Cheeseburger teed up in his State of the Union address when he said, "We renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country." Wow, he didn't say wall in between all that. Liberal proposals of Democrats' 2020 candidates, most notably Senator Elizabeth Warren's wealth tax, gives Republicans more ammunition. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell tells Fred Barnes in a Wall Street Journal opinion piece about Ocasio-Cortez, "I can quote unquote, pretty safely say it's the first time in my political career that I thought the essence of America was being debated." Really? Really? I mean, there's no debate with you, cocaine Mitch McConnell, when it comes to, say, like your racist policies, okay, to go along and kiss the major booty of your cheeseburger, all right? Why it matters? I'll tell you why it matters. Giddy House Republicans hope that they can ride this message into 2020 just as Dem sees the winning 2018 midterm message as soon as the House of ours voted in 2017 to weaken protections for pre-existing conditions. However, Republicans have long demagogued by branding Democrats socialists. Now some Democrats are helping by self-identify. Okay, but Jonathan Swan points out that the term, rarely defined by those who throw it out or around, packed more punch when the memory of the Cold War was fresh. Polling shows younger Americans are souring on capitalism and don't find the label socialist too scary. And an Axios Survey's Monkey Poll last month found that 70% of the voters want the economic system reformed, and 58% saying it's skewed toward the wealthy. Ew. So what does that say? I mean, come on. Are we into taxing the wealthy? Or are we simply compliant to let these tax cuts gut everybody, man, woman, and child, from out of the lower middle class into straight poverty? And I think 9 times out of 10, most people are quite happy with their poverty. As long as they got, you know, food on, once they got food on the table, they got a roof over their head, and nothing politically matters around the dinner table, 9 times out of 10, these people are like nothing more than a bunch of renegade ostriches. Their heads in the sand and their asses up, waiting for what we call a vacillating experience. Serious. So sucking the rich may turn out to be pretty darn popular. Wow, Republicans taking an early victory lap on socialism may eventually find it hard to defend not raising taxes on billionaires. The 2020 Democrats are worried of being branded socialist, because they're going to equate that to what's happening in South America and Venezuela, because look what socialism did to Maduro. Just like that. No, socialism didn't happen to Maduro and Venezuela and South America like that. No. We had a failed coup in 2002, and we've been trying to get that coup initiated, started, and finished pretty much during Cheeseburger's administration. So let's start all the way back from Bush and work our way up and see how well the United States has been holding up with its promise of overthrowing regimes, of overthrowing democracies that have resources that are valuable to the American public. That's not an emergency at all. It's not even a national one for that matter. This is an international gross negligence of power that we are using to simply say we want to come in and take everything you got. We did it in Honduras. Come on, we did it in Central America. Now we have MS-13, and we have all the plight and the fear-mongering coming from out of it based on the illegitimate information that your beloved master of disaster redaction and subtraction, your commander-in-chief, the man with the small hands and those taxpayers PP tape on the scape. Cheese burger, burger. Cheeseburger. God, I mean, come on. And you love this man because he's the only person I know at this particular point who has this theme of locking up everybody that makes fun of him. Well, we're going to make fun of him continuously because that's just what he is. I mean, come on. How many people do you know walk around with hepatitis? Okay? And this man has hepatitis. Come on, orange skin? Yeah. Think about it. Diet Coke, orange skin, hepatitis. The man's probably got diabetes, nobody knows. But then again, when you're walking around with your own circular orbit for a belly, you make the Michelin man look like he's been on a diet for 40 years. Needless to say, in the grovel of it all, and I gotta go through this too. In the grovel of it all, we have seen how well Cheeseburger has wielded power. And for him to wield power, it's like trying to shoot somebody with an empty bullet casing. Okay, straight up. You see this? It's an empty bullet casing. All right. Wolf tickets and shooting blanks does not run a government, people. All right. Throwing out fear does not throw out anything. But when you make it a point to sit up and say that we need everybody's resources because it's a national emergency, are you hyping the extension of piracy, global domination? I mean, the game of Stratego still goes on. BuzzFeed News, Caracas, Venezuela. 20 years after Hugo Chavez launched the revolution, Venezuela is falling apart from within, and we are helping. Despite what everybody is trying to like deflect and say, oh, there's no collusion in this, the United States has nothing to do with this, okay? Then how is it that Hugo Chavez wound up being protected from a drone strike? Who makes drones? Wow. Mark Ruff, good morning. Oh, the birthday man. Okay. Here it is, Caracas, Venezuela. 2 days after the socialist revolution was launched by Hugo Chavez, Venezuela was crumbling from within like a bad bundt cake. The U.S. has been piling on pressure on Caracas from outside for the last month in the hopes of bringing down the government of Nicolas Maduro. But of course, statements from a Cheeseburger about all options being on the table suggesting that he backs a military response are matched with not so subtle hints from his national security advisor, John Bolton. Mr. Warmonger himself, the Keebler elf who obviously did not come out of the tree. Mr. Warmonger, the man who thinks that Iran and Iraq should be blown to smithereens and we take their oil by force. The man who basically and systematically has Yemen and Syria bombed with no reservations for human life whatsoever. This man should stand in the Nuremberg trials for gross human destruction and genocide of peoples around the freaking world. And yet, the United States' hands are so clean. They're so clean. It's so clean. I mean, good grief. As in with Othello, you cannot wash the blood off your hands that fast enough. Declare some sort of, I don't know, constitutional dictatorship over everything else. So here it is, people. The extremists of the White House have taken upon themselves to carry out a coup in Venezuela. Maduro told the BBC in a rare interview with foreign media. But the reality is, as Cheeseburger prepares to speak to Venezuelan Americans in Miami on Monday, further in politicizing the crisis in the U.S., the main threat to Maduro is coming from within side. Last month, the U.S.-backed head of the opposition. I love how they word this. If it's coming from inside, Robert Mayo, hey, Arnio, what's up? Good morning, love you guys. See, this is what you could be doing, YouTube. This is what you could be doing, YouTube, but it's happening on Facebook. Join the conversation, all right? Anyway, so while this is going on, Cheeseburger prepares to speak with Venezuelans. He's already done so. Last month, the U.S.-backed head of the opposition-held National Assembly, Juan Guaido, declared himself an interim president. How do you declare yourself president, okay, with no formalities whatsoever, but you are backed by the United States? If Maduro sits there and says that the White House has taken upon themselves to carry out a coup, and then in the sentence furthering that a U.S.-backed head of opposition held a National Assembly. What part of coup does that not match together? People, it's all in the language. Latrice, good morning. The U.S. campaign has stirred old memories of interventions in Latin America that saw governments topple Chile, Honduras, and even Venezuela when a U.S.-backed coup temporarily ousted then President Hugo Chavez in 2002. Even the supply of humanitarian aid from outside has been politicized, with Maduro and his administration claiming that the shipment currently waiting at the border with Colombia is contaminated with carcinogens. Wow, teabags. Okay. Meanwhile, once loyal working class supporters are turning their backs on the government while politicians and diplomats have crossed the aisles to join the opposition. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody sells out to the highest dictator. And the United States has placed their own dictator inside of this. The man has no political weight whatsoever, doesn't even know the first thing about running a fucking government, and yet still we gonna put a puppet in there? Bravo, America! Bravo! Long live the Monroe Doctrine of Manifest Destiny. Gotta love it. Speaking of love, speaking of love, I gotta go and do this story real quick because this one just basically just bugs the crap out of me. It does, it does. But then again, this is America. This is what we prescribe to. This is what we do on a day-to-day basis. We cause enough crap, okay? We cause enough crap around the world that I'm surprised that if nobody, I mean if anybody has a right to, like, you know, strike back at the crap we did, then I would say 9/11 was a just due slap in the face. It was. 3,000, 6,000 plus people died and everything. I don't give a fuck. All right? That's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is your national emergency called, wolf ticket selling of a national emergency to build a fucking wall. And for what? And for what? To prove that we're a bigger bunch of racists up here? That we're isolatory, that we can stand our own? This is not Wakanda. Okay, come on. Think about it, people. This is not no fictional place somewhere drawn up in Cheeseburger's brain that actually resists, because he's sitting on a different reality plane, much like the Marvel universe. You know, universe number 666, that badass property in Manhattan that nobody wants to buy. I love my juice. Juice. I love my juice. Not Jews. Yes, I love Jews too, but I love my juice. OJ. Yes. The only drink that fits when you, the only drink that you can acquit that didn't fit. Anyway, from what the hell, let's go deeper inside the walls of the White House real quick. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong. King Tong. Okay? It started Tuesday. That cheeseburger broke the law by declaring a national emergency over the border last week. I mean, the man said we didn't need to do it. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to build a wall. You just wanted the fucking money, right? Yo, he wanted a legacy. I want to be remembered more Americans than anybody else. Yeah, we remember your ass. We remember you as a complete dumbass. All right? Quote unquote, the president is breaking law and he is shredding the Constitution, Tong said in the CNN's New Day. He declared a national emergency where there is none. There is no national emergency. There is no national emergency from separating parents from their children. There's no national emergency when we go and ruin somebody else's country. There is no national emergency when we see the repercussions of our own shit. What you reap is what you sow is what you will reap. My bad. Anyway, Connecticut is among a group of 16 states that filed a lawsuit on Monday seeking to block the emergency declaration and declare it unlawful. As a matter of fact, there's a bunch of states that protested this whole thing altogether. There are people, thousands of people, along the border of U.S. and Mexico, between U.S. and Mexico, that have painted signs on their roofs that says, "Don't build a freaking wall on my property." What is he going to do with his emergency complex? Oh, I'm going to take your land, your land, your land, your land, and I'm going to give it to the military, and the military is going to build my wall, and we're going to take the funds from the military. Guess what, taxpayer? You pay taxes for that shit. So miss me with this, oh, we ain't gonna pay for the wall. Stop paying your damn taxes, idiot. You'll figure it out. Where do your taxes go? Find a beeline. They don't just go ambiguously all over the freaking place. They don't. Paul Martin, good morning. Ooh, Rob, my Marine Corps buddy. What's up, bro? What's up, brethren? But this is the fallacy. This is the shakable fallacy of an American public that sits there and think that their taxes are doing lofty things. Lofty things. You're not even doing anything to stop climate control, climate change, or anything like that. Knowing that in 12 years we're gonna be sitting up here like baked potatoes because some idiot sit there and says, "Oh, I hope global warming comes back and unfreezes this winter we got going on." Stupid. No. Let me give you that one in another language. Mashnoon. Okay, straight mashnoon. All right. This idiot, I swear to God, has basically done, I don't know, I guess he's doing the American public in such a way that, I mean, come on, if he can grab women by the private parts, obviously he can screw America without no Vaseline. I mean, come on. The man is a walking toupee dick helmet, okay, straight up and down, all right? So, where does that put us? Where does that put us? Where does that put us? It puts us in a mess. It puts us in a huge mess, people. It really does. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on in this world that we really have to pay attention to, and not just a celebritydom of somebody basically lying on white people. Just to get what? Okay? Just to get what? I don't know. So here it is, people. Coalition of states sue cheeseburger. They're suing this jackass. When states are suing the president, they can actually do so and win in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. All right? It wouldn't even make it to the Supreme Court. This garbage that he's talking about, saying that he's gonna I'm gonna go to the Supreme Court and then we're gonna win. No, dude, you call a national emergency like it's a death threat against what? Your style of democracy? Wow. Coalition of states sues cheeseburger over a national emergency to build border wall, which I find quite delectable in the story itself from the Washington Post for the simple reason because old cheeseburger, old granite draws, okay, The man who ain't getting none because he got a wall in his bed between him and that shaved down Bigfoot you call Melania. Okay? So, whoa! Things are shaking all over the place, people. Here we go. Oh my God. Okay. The coalition states filed a federal lawsuit Monday to block Cheeseburger's plan to build a border wall without permission from Congress, arguing that the president's decision to declare a national emergency is unconstitutional. Of course it's unconstitutional because, one, Congress holds the purse. All right? Now, let's do a little math here, people. Who's running the Senate? Okay, that's your first guess, all right? Democrats. And the small amount, how many numbers of Republicans do you have in the House right now? Okay, not as much as you thought. And some of them have even flip-flopped because they don't want to deal with Cheeseburger's policies or his rhetoric or his foul 73-year-old, 5-year-old tantrums. Okay, come on. Some of these guys are grandpas to kids who kids don't even see them because grandpa's too busy in the country trying to make the country go right. Really? Wow. Lawsuit brought by states with Democrat governors, except for one, Maryland, is seeking preliminary injunction that would prevent the president from acting on his emergency declaration while the case plays out in courts. We're talking years, people. And by the time that actually winds up becoming like, you know, a frothy ideal, Cheeseburger will be out of office. We'll have a new president. That new president will be inclined to wipe all those policies off the fucking board and say, no, we're going to go with one policy that's going to work. It's going to work for the rest of our lives. For the rest of this generation, we're going to clean up our climate change, our climate problems. Okay, we are going to stop this trade war with all these countries and everything, and we're going to have a better deal than what Cheeseburger never had proposed at all. Japan said I can get a Nobel Peace Prize. Then they voted for me a Peace Prize. Oh, sure, when the United States ask you, when the United States government kowtows to Japan. And sits there and tells, you know, President Abe, will you vouch for us? Will you vouch for us and say that that Cheeseburger deserves a Nobel Peace Prize? Wow. So let me go back to this one. Was the election rigged? Okay. Was the election rigged? Of course it was. Marilyn Reyes, good morning, darling. Good morning. Peace and blessings to you. So, my question is this. Was the election rigged? If Japan's, you know, Shinzo Abe was told by the United States to vouch for Cheeseburger to receive a nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize, what part of rig do we not see here? What part of it? Anyway, there we are. The complaint was filed in the United States District Court of the Northern District of California, a San Francisco-based court whose judges have ruled against an array of other Cheeseburger administration policies, including on immigration and the environment, which sorely is our problems, our major problems. Come on, we have a humanitarian crisis right here in the United States, and we're not even addressing that. You don't want to know what a real national emergency is, people? How about this? How about we stop polluting the areas where poor people live? Look at Michigan. People up there still don't have clean drinking water. That's a national emergency. People in Cancer Alley in Louisiana are dying because of corporate intervention and making money, and therefore they are getting their tax breaks, but they're not putting any money into like any kind of healthcare reform whatsoever. So people and generations of people are dying year after year after year. That's a national emergency. Or better yet, gun violence. Idiots who have guns. Guns don't kill people. Idiotic people with guns kill people. And, oh, that's right, because they are a product of their environments, okay, then it comes to stand that maybe that's the reason why they kill each other. Chicago is a national emergency in that particular sense, okay? Oh, how about this? White nationalist terrorists who go and shoot up schools, churches, theaters, parking lots, whatever, businesses. That is a national emergency. How about people over the age of 50 acting like they've lost their damn minds to go out and terrorize people? That is a national emergency. Better yet, can we actually find some skin cream that will work with Cheeseburger's face? Now that is a national emergency because I have never seen no orange alien in my life. Until maybe on TV, Star Wars, Star Trek, give or take the green lady here or there. But when it comes to somebody with an orange face, I'm thinking either hepatitis, okay, or gangrene, which, I mean, come on, that allows people to separate arms and limbs. Accusing the president of an unconstitutional and unlawful scheme, the lawsuit says states are trying to, quote-unquote, protect their residents and natural resources and economic interests from cheeseburgers' flagrant disregard of fundamental separations of power principles ingrained in the United States Constitution. The more we look at the Constitution, the more we see it being fractured by somebody who has the capacity, and compunction of a 3-year-old having a temper tantrum. Okay? And guess what? Well, guess what? Poor white America, you are falling for it because you think the man is doing things in your best interest, not realizing that you are getting jabbed, and I'm talking about an Afghan shaft in your ass with your taxes. And for you fake-ass revolutionary groups that are sitting on social media, let me tell you this much. Where are you in the process of even helping your communities file any of these grievances? Complaint filed by the Attorney General of nearly a third of the states that are representing millions of Americans immediately becomes a heavyweight among a rapid outpouring of opposition to the president's emergency declaration. In the United States White House Rose Garden on Friday, Cheeseburger announced that he was instituting a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexican border because Congress did not approve the money for the wall that has stood as one of the most enduring promises of his 2016 campaign. This has been the longest campaign promise that he has fucked up on right about now. Never mind taking social services off the table and everything and making sure that nobody has any kind of outlet for, say, mental health disorders. We got somebody that's stupid and crazy running the damn government. Several nonprofit organizations already have gone to court to announce plans to sue. The protesters took to the streets in several cities on Monday across the country. Across from the White House, demonstrators held neon-colored letters that spelled "Power Grab." Let me spell that for you. P-O-W-E-R-G-R-A-P. Okay? Didn't say anything about grabbing people by the pussy either. All right? So that's out of the question. From California Attorney General Xavier Becerra, who I get notes from on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, between him and the mayor of Los Angeles. They send me notes about this. Okay? You wouldn't expect to celebrate President's Day this way, but we do what we got to do. Okay? Now, Xavier Becerra is the leader of the state's coalition, says on Monday in an interview that in case that we're having to commemorate by protesting, whether marching in the street or marching into court. A protest, when was the last time y'all seen a protest on President's Day? Why is this loose hair just driving me nuts here? Y'all see this, right? Oh, okay, cool. Let's tuck this on back here, because this thing, I mean, I don't mind my hair going out into outer space and everything. It has its own life sometimes. That's what we call a good hair day. Anyway, so though the president declared an emergency, the White House officials plan to use $8 billion to build the sections of the barrier that Cheeseburger says will obstruct or deter migrants from crossing into the country. Really? $8 billion can also be defeated by a $25 ladder. You can climb across the damn thing. Or, if you put some real heart and interest into it, you can dig up underneath it. Or, better yet, come through legal ports of entry and stall the asylum process, in which, in July of last year, was supposed to implement trial judges for asylum cases, which have now been stalled into weeks and months because you cannot force military judges to study immigration law and have it down in 6 months. No, that's a whole new ball of wax, complex as it is, and it's gonna take years for those cats to get that study up. And so we are wasting military crap on this. Okay, so now this jackass wants $8 billion to build sections of the wall. That sum is about $6.6 billion more than Congress allotted for the proposed and its latest spending plan to fill the gap. The White House intends, among other things, to divert the $3.6 billion from the military construction account and $2.5 billion from the Department of Defense efforts to fight illicit drugs. Really? Excuse me, people. Okay, so now I see the contradiction in this whole thing. You are going to spend $8 billion to stop illegal crossings. And most of that is coming from places that are already fighting illicit drugs. If you want to defund something, defund ICE. All right? Get rid of your SS Nazi core criminals who are running up on people out of suspicion and profiling to simply send away out of this country. And for one reason. Spying. The 56-page complaint, Becerra and his counterparts argue that diverging money that Congress has designated for other purposes violates the separation of powers defined in the Constitution. The complaint also says that once Congress passes laws and a president signs them, the Constitution requires that the president, quote-unquote, take care of the laws and be faithfully executed, which was done with his swearing in. And if you are swearing in as president and you are supposed to uphold the laws of the land that have already been signed into law by other presidents, what is your attempt to basically erase their legacy so you can put your own legacy on top of it? Power grab? Perhaps a power grab. Hey, what's up, Walt? Yo, come on through, bro. Hey, y'all gonna like this. Yeah. Come up a little bit. I'll be right with you and shit. Hey, nobody beats the Wiz, people. Let my boy walk through and shit. You know, nobody beats the Wiz. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's Walt Rizzotti right there. People. No one beats. See, yes, I have people who come through here every now and then. Anyway, back on track, people. This is the halfway point. So therefore, we're going to get back into the story, but I want to make sure you guys get the hold of this. Here we got, Facebook. Go to the damn website. Get your freaking mug. Show that you're a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Our problem here is to make sure that people do realize that they do not have to be subjugated to this crazy madman's ideology of ethno-statehood. Isolationism. I'm sorry, but let me scratch my head on this one. Okay, if that was the case, of all the inventions that say, like, the white man put out and everything, how many of those actually came to pass? I mean, come on, if there was such a case for it, we wouldn't have this issue of, Nikola Tesla getting his stuff stolen from him. And to where we're now paying for electricity. Okay, why? Why can't we have free energy? Why can't we have free water? Pretty soon we're going to be out there like, just, sucking up air tanks. Lovely. Freaking lovely. Love it. If you're on YouTube, guess what? You guys are going to get the you're going to get the flashbang here. You're going to get the flashbang. Flashbang means that you get to see all the stuff that we have at our website that you can actually support our station with. Like our books, our mugs, people that come through. Oh, and yes, I have a very interesting interview coming up and everything that's going to be about moi. Okay, that's right. My people from Hollywood got themselves together, got a radio station. They're going to interview me, so that's going to be cool. So guess what? If I'm going to drop dimes on some questions, trust and believe me, I'm going to make some people very famous, I must say. So YouTube, there you go. Anyway, back on track, people. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean? What does all this mean? What does all this mean? Why are we going through this premise of this ignorant man's totalitarian regime change here in the White House? I don't know if I want to call it the White House anymore. I don't even want to give it the dignitation of calling it a White Castle. I might just call it a place, a residence or a hovel of a swamp that's growing bigger and deeper with so much cacophony that we just cannot barely see daylight out of it sometimes. Anyway, back on track here. So in the 56-page complaint, Becerra and his counterparts argued that diverting money to Congress is designated for other purposes violates the separation of powers defined in the Constitution. The complaint also says that once Congress passes laws and the president signs them, the Constitution requires that the president, quote-unquote, take care that the laws be faithfully executed, which he was supposed to do when he first got the damn job. But the lawsuit also alleges that the federal government's own data prove that there is no national emergency at the southern border and warrants construction of a wall. Let me read that again so this way it may settle in like bad fungus. There is no national emergency. Okay? Basically, there's no emergency. This is smoke and mirrors, wolf tickets, blanks, okay? This is a 73-year-old man married to a 43-year-old model. Okay, there's some pedagogic issues going on here. It enumerates ways that residents of participating states and states themselves could be harmed by the diversion of funds. In addition to California, state participating in these lawsuits are Colorado. Boom! We love our weed out here. What? That's fucking, hey, we love our weed. Fuck y'all. All right? Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Virginia. Ooh, the cradle of the Confederacy. With the exception of Maryland Governor Larry Hogan represented, the governors of these states are all Democrats. So not only does Cheeseburger have the fight of his life inside of the swamp, but also outside of the swamp. We're talking about a very bad and sloppy peanut butter and jelly sandwich that looks like the hills of California. It sure does. Seriously. Okay, so the suit names as defendants the President, the Departments of Defense, Treasury, Interior, and Homeland Security, and senior officials of those departments. Wow. These guys are going balls for the wall for this. Judges there, for example, have ruled against efforts by the Commerce Department to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. Numerous rollbacks of environmental regulations efforts to curtail asylum for migrants, and the Department of Homeland Security's verification of special temporary protected status for the hundreds of thousands of immigrants legally living here in the United States don't mean shit. ICE is still an important factor. Defund ICE and you will have your border wall money. That's all you got to do. But wait a minute, they could be roaming around the streets. We don't have our own SS. We don't have it like Germany once had it when they came after the damn Jews. Come on. How are you supposed to, like, you know, say that we're this big old country of love? And I remember this. This should be a policy of love. This is a policy of love. Coming from where? Mr. Ooh, I got boogers in my shoes. Really? Case appeals that go to court from the United States Courts of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit Court, which has become a whipping post for Cheeseburger, has to write it as it is, quote-unquote, a complete and total disaster and a thorn in our side. You made this crap! Okay, come on. How do you sit up and make a freaking mess and blame it on everybody else? I know some people that live like that. They're fucking junkies right now, okay? So I don't give a fuck about them, all right? Since the president's announcement, GOP members of Congress have mixed opinions of the declaration, with some contending it is legitimate and others portraying it as a power grab that could create a dangerous precedent in the event of the future Democratic president. Notice that they said Democratic president. They didn't say anything about an incoming Republican president or a sustaining Republican president on a continuous campaign trail that he started since 2016. This is not a presidency, people. This is nothing more than a microwave show of garbage, and we are fascinated by the entertainment that we get out of it every day. Come on. Cheeseburger is probably the most entertaining dotard I've ever seen in a suit since, I don't know, I guess the KKK flogging their own. Cheeseburger has declared, and his declaration is allowed under the 1976 law called the National Emergencies Act, and that it has been used dozens of times. Outside analysis, including by the Brennan Center for Justice, have shown that virtually all such emergencies involve sanctions against foreign governments. Again, it involves sanctions against foreign governments. So is there a sanction against the American people? Is there a sanction against America that we need this damn border wall or an emergency power grab that's going on right now? Obviously, nobody is thinking that far ahead. We're only thinking about the here and now. What we can get. What could it mean? What it could also mean that I don't have my juice. I must have my juice. I mean, come on. When I spit 900 words a minute and so forth, everybody has a hard time keeping up. And when I keep it all lubed up and everything, then that's when make me want to grab the microphone and get on stage. Anyway, George W. Bush, 44, 43, I don't know, declared a national emergency soon after 9/11 terrorist attack, but the spending it allowed had not previously been designated by Congress for other purposes. On Friday, Public Citizen and the Center for Biological Diversity filed separate lawsuits in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, alleging that Cheeseburger's emergency declaration is unconstitutional. Of course it's unconstitutional. What dotard? Okay, what dotard with a C average in high school that barely graduated and is now raising a family of 8 motherfucking kids does not understand that. Maybe we should put pictures in the damn book so people can actually, oh, that's right, you got comic books. You got comic books for that. And video games, yes. So on Friday, public citizens and the Center for Biological Diversity have filed their lawsuits, declaring it unconstitutional. Another advocacy group, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, sued the Justice Department on Friday, accusing it of failing to provide legal options, communications, and other documents related to the president's decision to declare a national emergency. There is nothing but smoke and mirrors here, people. Come on, how many wolf tickets has this guy sold? How many lies have the American public itself has bought and shamefully watched this man go down in flames behind each and every one of them? I believe the count is 8,579, give or take, with a percentage differential of, say, 2% for error. Okay? And I'm just going on the stuff that he does. Okay? It's not what he says, and it's not what he does. It's what he implicates. And when he implicates crap because he personally invests into himself, he personally puts it out there, and you guys are going behind this emotional ragamuffin like it ain't crap. Really, you're reacting. How about putting some action into face? Let's put a little bit of action into face here, okay? Let's, for one, get our shit together. Unite for a common cause. We have a common enemy. If we do not seek the way of putting a bullet between this man's eyeballs, then damn it, somebody put a bear trap in his seat so that way when he sits down, we can see how bloody his ass is when he has been bitten by the American public who detests everything he does to destroy it. Oh, the economy's up, everybody's got jobs, and everybody's working in fucking poverty, man. Come on. Come on. Think about it. You know what I mean? You know how many black and brown brothers and sisters I talk to on a day-to-day basis on social media that tell me all kinds of weird crap? I tell them straight up, stop working for the man and be the man. Straight up and down. And when you realize that and you get tired of that bullshit, trust and believe you will understand that certain loyalties and allegiances to people who don't consider you a human being in their positions whatsoever, other than a cog in a machine to help that machine, not you. Look at what happened at Amazon in New York. They got booted out. That means that people stood up to the crap. They didn't want somebody coming in here making a bunch of money off of everybody else, and come on. I hate to tell you this. Okay, I had an instructor. I had a professor who told me in broadcasting classes says, when you hear automation, run. And I'm trying to figure out what that means. In a broadcasting sense, if you have an automated station that basically just puts out information and nothing else, no human element whatsoever, there is your problem. That was just a litmus test. That was back in '90. Now, here we are in 2018, right? Automation. When you see and hear automation in a power plant, such as Amazon, the initial thing is to get human beings in there to simply work. And once they figure out how they can, get robots to do their jobs, a lot of y'all gonna be sitting at home doing this. Ranting and raving on your own podcast. And trying to make something meaningful happen for your life at that particular point because you're going to be put out of service. The generation coming up after this generation are going to be the most unemployed people you will ever see in your life. For real. Because we are in the advanced science far enough to where AI does a lot of the damn dangerous quote-unquote jobs that we do. If that was the case, maybe they could probably change the judgment of how humanity's supposed to survive on this planet. And oh no, Skynet! How about this one, people? Houston Chronicle, Houston police to end use of no-knock warrants. I think this takes away from the fact that somebody just generally does not want to be disturbed. Okay? 17 bullet holes can be seen in the front of an entrance of 7815 Harding Street, where 5 Houston police officers were shot while serving a warrant. That was like Tuesday, I think it was like January 29th, Tuesday. Houston Police Department will end its use of the controversial no-knock warrants in most situations. Chief Art Acevedo, okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. that during a contentious town hall meeting 3 weeks after the deadly Pecan Park drug raid that left 2 people dead and 5 officers injured. Quote-unquote, the no-knock warrants are going to go away like leaded gasoline in this city, Acevedo told the crowd, activists, reformers, and concerned community members. Wow, activists, reformers, and concerned community members. Wow. They held an audience. Unlike the internet revolutionaries who barely get outside. After the event, Acevedo said any situation where a no-knock raid would be required would have to receive a special exemption from his office. I'm 99.9% sure we won't be using them, he said. If for some reason there would be a specific case that would come from my office. I mean, the guy probably, whoever the perpetrator may be, they must have, like, say, a wall or a fence or a barrier or peaches, okay, to keep the police from coming up on your doorstep. Okay. Now, given the wounded officers and the 2 slain civilians, the chief said he didn't see the value of the controversial raids. So that's probably going to go by the wayside. Well, that's a good change. That means that people are going to have manners. The police officers are going to have manners. And one thing I love about the police department up here in Colorado, I'm not bullshit. One, I can actually talk my way out of any kind of confrontation with them by simply asking if they've eaten yet. And once I get a smile on their face, they just tell me to go about my damn business. That's right. Old man trick number 5. Okay, so come up like Little Red Riding Hood and have a basket or whatnot. You hungry, officer? How about some food? Oh, I just ate. I was like, nah, you ain't eat. Come on, put some fat on you. Straight up. Because the fatter they get, the easier it is for me to run away from them. Anyway, and let's see. The news came during the meeting, late Monday, after more than an hour of questions from a furious crowd that repeatedly pressed Acevedo on the conduct of his undercover officers who used no-knock and inflammatory comments from Houston Police Union President Joe Gamal, who recently seemed to suggest the department was surveilling law enforcement critics. You know, as I said, people, automation should be your worst nightmare when it comes to the employability of human beings. Now, of all the stuff that we have seen and heard and everything, many of you will probably go to YouTube and find a lot of this information. But when you have drones flying around in your ghettos, I know this for a fact because they do this in South Central a lot. You can hear drones flying around. How is it that when those drones fly around, they disappear when the police department shows up 2 minutes later? Oh yeah. Drones, people. Drone technology is going to be in your neighborhood, and there's not a damn thing you're going to be able to do except for take rocks and slings and try and shoot at them. And many of you who got guns that claim that you're gangsters and whatnot can't even shoot all that damn good to begin with. I mean, I can stand in front of you. You can have a gun. I can stand in front of you. You can probably miss me by 3 inches. Okay, seriously. Come on, hold the gun like this. Come on, you ain't got no sight. You doing that Hollywood bullshit, man. Get off of it. Come on. Or as my friends from Freestyle Fellowship would say, get off the dick. All right? Now, still Acevedo said he wouldn't agree to let the Texas Ranger or the FBI take over this investigation. I feel very strongly that the police department that is not capable of investigating itself and finding malfeasance and criminal misconduct, we should just shut down, and that's just not the case here. Because if you did shut down the police departments around Sergio Mercy, what's up? Papa Bear, what's going on? Clack, clack, what's up? What about you, you poop? You boob? So, my question is this now. If we're going to have what is known as good, strong community relations, then we have to understand that the avalanche theory here. The bullshit that falls from the top of the mountain doesn't necessarily hit everything. Here's a police department ready to say, I don't know, reinvent itself into better humane policies of dealing with people who may become agitated, frightened, scared, or basically resilient to say, like, police intervention. Now, give or take, it takes, I'm not going to take anything away from the police department. There are cops, and then there are pigs. Okay, let's keep that understanding straight. There are cops that are out there. They're doing their job. They're doing their job well. They're doing their job with the prospects of understanding that yes, this is a community of people, and therefore I don't live in this community, but I must show respect for it and must gain their trust. Pigs, on the other hand, are the ones that are driving around in your hood trying to pick up on welfare mother for a quick piece. Pigs are the ones who plant evidence on you. Pigs are the ones that shoot, maim, and rob you. Okay? Of your, not only of your constitutional right, of your dignity, and of your own personhood. Okay? Those are pigs. Sandra Silva, good morning, bienvenidos. What's happening, baby? Top of the morning. Live and direct, don't get. So I ask America itself, what premise are you really waiting to stand up to this constitutional dictatorship that is running our country at this particular point? Got to think of something, people, and we got to think fast, because if we don't think fast enough, it will pass us by, and therefore subjugation will just be a new word of the day to where you say you go to work or you get worked on. Anyway, this is the KTNG Morning Show. I tell you, I go through a whole bunch of stuff and everything because I want you people to be well aware of certain things that are happening. It may not be happening in your city, but it will definitely happen to a certain degree. It will happen to a certain degree in other states that are basically doing the exact same thing. Okay? Question the fraternal order of police, people. It's your only clue. It's your only clue. And that's all I'm going to give you. Okay? Right now, we're going to go through some other stories for the rest of the week. But keep in mind, people, keep in mind, we are not going to let Cheeseburger out of our sights for nothing. All right? Let's focus on following the money. Let's focus on following this man's psychology. And also, let's focus on getting this bastard up out of there. Let's say good morning to a whole bunch of people. Zambo Estrada, good morning. All the way out there in South America. Brenda Eakins Perkins, good morning, love. Good morning. Love you too. Woo, woo, woo. Bob Planet, good morning. Eva Santiago, good morning. Ha! Cheech and Chong, good morning. Fellas, what are you doing up so damn good? Latrice McIntosh, good morning and happy birthday. Crazy. I swear to God. People on the backside. KM Arola, good morning. Dr. Dwayne Proctor, good morning. I got to send you that recipe for Mexican pizza, homeboy. Sullivan Rocker, good morning. Do you have enough money to move to the UK? Okay, awesome. Gloria Medina, good morning. Raquel Delgado, good morning. Nanette Ortiz, good morning. See, I love it. See, I have more Latinos coming through here than I have these so-called revolutionary black people. Obviously, y'all so stuck on this this Smoly Jolie, whatever the hell this fruit bat name is, sitting here blaming white people for him getting his ass beat by 2 black people. And they're assisting with the police at this point, okay? So if y'all are so into status chasing, chase after, you know, loose booty on there, trying to make more of a name for himself. Crocodile tears. We get enough of that for Cheeseburger. Okay. Rashim Johnson, good morning. Amir Zake, good morning. Hakan Atun, all the way out there. Good morning. Jay Meeks, good morning. Salam alaikum, my brothers and sisters. Lena Shockley, good morning. Taz Spitter, good morning. Ha ha ha. Maria Salceres, good morning. Gloria J. Anderson, good morning. Nina Henderson, good morning. What's up with the furniture sitting in the snow? I mean, come on, good grief. MC Pros, good morning. Lucella Testa, all the way out in Italy, good morning. Manny Gonzalez Reyna, good morning. Kevin Hickman Sr., good morning. Augustus William, good morning. Tagachi Nakagao, good morning. Domo Domo to my people out in Japan. That's right. Echo. Yuka Matsuda, Tanaguchi, good morning. And Nate, good morning. Good morning. Domo Domo to my people. I love y'all. Y'all got the most interesting culture because you guys are so pure. I love it. Good morning to my people out in Nairobi in Nigeria. Please stop sending me all those the craziness about you want to meet me and you want to know more about me. And when I ask you a direct question about how much money do you need, you guys just run away from my ass. What do you want me to do? Turn you into Interpol? Good grief. Bishop Peter, good morning. Kuba Wu, good morning. Wu-Tang, good morning. That's right. Ha ha ha. Tom Life 9 Larson, good morning. Miko J. West, good morning. Charles D. Moore Sr., good morning. Oh my God. Naomi, Batubel, good morning. That's right. Oh my God, I keep forgetting my girl's name. I can't. Oh well, there's a lot of women. Anyway, I got to get up out of here. Oh yes, Estacio Martinez, good morning with your crazy self. Happy belated birthday, bub. That's right. That's my Palestinian Mexican friend who is none other than a Black Panther. And if my association is guilty, then so be it. Therefore, Tom Bacon, the man synonymous with world domination. Good morning, crazy. You and the Sisters of Energy. That dog, I'm telling you, Liv's got that look on her face. Serious. Anyway, I got to get out of here. And most importantly, people, once you guys get out there, no matter what kind of weather you're going through right about now, always remember, put a smile on somebody's face, because that means you're sharing the happiness between each and every souls, and that connects us all to humanity. Besides, there's no segregation in heaven, and everybody steps to the one, on the one. You got the Godfather of soul, you got the king of pop, you got the queen of some R&B, and you got Prince, all sitting in heaven making music, waiting on y'all to do your part as human beings to make each other happy, regardless of how it is. But most importantly, do your work. Love, peace, and chicken wings. This has been the KTNG Morning Show, the redacted version. That's right. Love, peace, and chicken wings, people. And remember, all power to the people, all people to a purpose. Make sure you have one, because the doggone bus does not stop for people who